Hello everybody and welcome to Reads, Spider-Man Crawlspace Review Edition. I'm Ryan Reed, creator and webmaster of the Uncanny Comic Book Reader blog. Please come check us out over there. I am now part of the Spider-Man Crawlspace Reviewers. I am doing video cast reviews for the Spider-Man and Spider-Man related titles. I of course will be kicking off right now with issue 700 of The Amazing Spider-Man. So let's get right down to business, shall we? So anywho, as we know from 699, not 699.1, but Peter, trapped in Dr. Octopus's body, of course, found a way to use the Golden Octobot to create a supervillain breakout of the raft, and Hydro Man, the Trapster, and the Scorpion broke him out to take him up to get back to the real Dr. Octopus, who, of course, has been in Peter's body right now, pretending to be Spider-Man with all his memories and all that. So what ends up happening is Peter in Dr. Octopus's body ends up having a heart attack because, his body's dying. It's frailing. When this happens, he ends up seeing all the people he's known that have died on his watch, from Captain Stacy to Silver Sable, even though Dan Slott said Silver Sable is still alive, but we'll get into that later. He ends up seeing his Uncle Ben, who tells him that he has to make sure Otto Octavius does not ruin who Spider-Man is. But he says once he does this, he can rest and someone else can be Spider-Man. With that, he comes back to life, and of course he goes to tell Dr. Octopus that he is ready to go and he wants him out. Of course, Dr. Octopus, knowing about the secret supervillain base that he set up, tells the police where they are. And of course, Peter and the rest of the supervillains decide to run to Avengers Tower. And of course, Peter, knowing about the security codes and everything of Avengers Tower, is able to bypass it and set up his base. And of course, while he's there, all of Peter's loved ones, from Mary Jane to, of course, J. Jonah Jameson, are there. And of course, Dr. Octopus shows up and a battle ensues. However, Dr. Octopus ends up going a little too out of control and actually ends up taking the Scorpion's jaw straight off because he never believed that Peter was holding back all this time, and he finds out he is. Well, anyhow, sufficient to say, Peter tries to do the mind switch with Dr. Octopus, and it doesn't work because Doc Ock has shielded his head with a little armor to keep that from happening. However, the brain link is still between them all, and Peter floods Dr. Octopus with all of his memories, not just what happened, but the emotional connection, everything from the radioactive spider bite to just most recently what happened in Ends of the Earth and everything. So in doing so, Peter tells that he is now Spider-Man, and he needs to actually make good and stop being a villain. And with that, he dies in Dr. Octopus's body. Dr. Octopus, realizing he's right, he has wasted his life being a supervillain and everything, is now going to be Spider-Man from now on, but he'll be a better Spider-Man and will be known as the Superior Spider-Man. So, what are my pros with this issue? First of all, the setup, storyline, which really kind of basically started back in issue 600 of Amazing Spider-Man with Dr. Octopus dying, to now has actually been very well set up. The storylines have been there. The story actually goes very well from execution. You don't feel like it's an oversized issue. It actually flows very well with Peter and Dr. Octopus actually playing mind games about how well they know each other with each other's memories and technical know-how, leading into the big final battle at Avengers Tower. And there's some really great moments, like Dr. Octopus really realizing just how strong Spider-Man is when he accidentally takes the Scorpion's jaw out, not to mention the emotion connection when he finally lives Peter's life from all the memory flashes, as well as Peter really trying to be a hero. Even the moment when he said he was going to switch their bodies back because he knew he was going to be sentencing Dr. Octopus to death, and he, after that, would no longer be able to do Spider-Man. So he knew he was done. He was going to be it for Spider-Man. So that whole storyline, as well as the way everybody witnesses basically the death of the Peter, Dr. Octopus, and the switcheroo and everything, is actually very well handled. The artwork is actually not too bad at all. But that's where I'm going to stop right there. Going to cons and everything. Basically, yeah, they've killed Peter off. I mean, even though it's pretty much shown that he's still in there, his memories, everything, emotions that made Peter Parker are still in his own body. So really, his brainwaves are in there. It's just Dr. Octopus has kind of overwritten them. So it's kind of like a backup file in your computer and everything. The files are there. They just have to be accessed. So there's a way out of all this. Second of all and everything, I feel like this is just a big ploy just to trying to move Peter out after, Ultimate Spider-Man 2 years ago killed the Ultimate Spider-Man, and Miles Morales has been a big hit. But, at least that whole thing, just kind of like them saying, Peter's no longer needed or anything. So, of course, it doesn't work well there. So where the story there fails, unfortunately. So, in doing so, I'll give this issue 3 out of 5 webs. It's good. It's not perfect, and I'm interested in seeing where Superior Spider-Man goes, so I will leave it at that. So that's all I have to do with this review. I will see you later, of course, with Superior Spider-Man #1. See you then, everybody.